Hello again, everybody, and welcome. My name is Sheppard, and we're going to do some drumming, chanting, and a little bit of channeling, and away we'll go. So for me, once I got most of the shadow work done, I began to hear the voice of Rhea much, much more clearly. And so what began to happen is Rhea would just drop in a message from time to time. It's what I used to refer to as God drops. I start to wind down to get ready to go to bed. And as I do that, I quite often get a message. Sometimes pictures, but more often it's voice. And the backstory is when I was very young, when I was a child, I used to have night terrors, nightmares of the most horrific feelings. I would scream and wake up the whole house because they were so horrific. We never could figure out what those were or what they were from. So I got the answer to that one night in a God drop. You know, those night terrors you used to have, those were not from your violent father. Those were from being abducted by extraterrestrials. What? What? Being abducted by extraterrestrials? What? Who? Me? Who are you talking to? You could have knocked me over with a feather at that point in time. I was stunned. I didn't know what to do with that information. I'd never seen anything with my visual human eye that would indicate that I had ever been abducted or seen a UFO or seen an ET or an alien. I was completely taken aback. But the message came through Rhea. The message came through with a warm chest. The message came through in a way that there's no way I could doubt it without throwing out everything that I had learned since channeling. I got the download, the God drop, the message that I was a participant in what I would soon learn is called the hybridization program. I had already made an appointment with Daniel Scranton, my channeling coach. So as Daniel Scranton was channeling the Arcturian Council, they confirmed absolutely 100% that I have been part of the hybridization program my entire life. It even goes back to before I was born. They abducted my mother and modified my DNA while she was pregnant. And then they started abducting me shortly after my birth in order to monitor and to make the changes that needed to be changed for me to continue as a donor in the hybridization program. Then I had my channeling partner check in. She confirmed it. Then I made an appointment with an Akashic record reader by the name of Cheryl Marlene. She confirmed it. So I have had several different friends, professionals, confirm that the story that I am getting is true for me. Doesn't mean it's true for you, but it's true for me. So for the next month, I was in a state of confusion. I didn't know what to do. With my paradigm, my whole worldview had been shifted. The next month in my life was chaotic and confusing. I just didn't know what to do with all that information. It was just so seemingly random. It was just seemingly so, what? This does not fit into my worldview at all. And yet, that was my experience. There is actually a name for it. Ontological shock is when your worldview has been so shattered that nothing makes sense. You have to start from the beginning and reevaluate everything you ever thought you believe. Because now you have information that nothing is as it appears. So ontological shock is a shattering event. But the more information I got, the more things began to make sense. I had symptoms, body symptoms, throughout my life that didn't seem to make sense. And I actually had a list that I'd made on my phone of body symptoms until I put the abduction possibility into the equation. And as soon as I put that into the equation, everything made sense. All of the body symptoms made sense. For me, it was a great relief. That's an odd thing to say. It was a relief that came on the heels of the ontological shock, because the relief gave me the answers that I had been seeking about the body symptoms that I had struggled with for my entire life. But here's another interesting thing. As you're given information, as you're giving little pieces of the puzzle, the pieces of the puzzle don't always seem to fit together at first. And that is because you're only given the information you are able to withstand. Had that information been given to me prior to me doing my healing work, it could have shattered my reality, and honest to goodness, I could have had a psychological break. So the information is only given to you as you are able to handle it. So that's the reason I had never known this information before, even though all of a sudden those night terrors as a child made a lot more sense. Every single time I'd have one of those, I would wake up in terror on the sofa, not in my bed where I had been sleeping. You see, they leave subtle hints for you to know that you have been taken and returned. And for me, one of those subtle hints was they put me back on the sofa so that I couldn't ignore it. So it would become an event. So it would become something that would stick out as abnormal. And I didn't know the truth of that till decades and decades later. Those events happened when I was 10 or 12. I'm now 74. I got this message about 3 years ago. You will be given the message. You will be given the information when you are able to handle it. If you are not able to handle it, you will be given limited information or no information at all until the healing is done. Now we have opened up a whole new multiverse of possibilities. Peace, love, and harmony. Thank you for listening. I love you all.